La la la. Leonie Dawson refuses to be categorized the podcast. My loves, such a joy to connect with you. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my February 2022 monthly life and biz review. I'm going to be sharing all about how I went with achieving last month's goals, the life blessings and challenges, what I've created in my business. I'm going to share with you my exact revenue, and because of popular demand, I'm also going to share expenses in with that as well, and share my goals for this month. You can see all the graphics for this at leoniedawson.com/Feb22. Otherwise, on with the show. So, how I went with my goals for February. So, in life, I wanted to settle back into my work routine and get my kids settled back in school. Yay! Did it. Nailed it. I was expecting it to be a little bit of a shitstorm this first term, just because there's been a lot of teacher changes and stuff, but it's ended up being so seamless and just beautiful. So I'm so grateful. I started weekly Pilates again after taking time off over school holidays, and my routine is I go to Pilates and then I go to my favorite bookstore, which is just next door, and I have tea and cake afterwards, and it is my favorite time of the week. So I was so happy to get back in the routine. I also wanted to finish my Goal Getter Life workbook planning for the year. Didn't do it. Going to do it this month. I need to schedule school tours. I did one, and I'm still waiting to hear back on 2 more, but I think I've pretty much decided anyway, so I think we're okay. And get investment house organised, and that's partial. We've still got some more to do, but it's getting there. Hooray! And we're just going slow and steady on it, really. In terms of my business goals for February, I wanted to finish my Goal Getter business workbook planning for the year. Did not do that. We'll need to finish that this month. I wanted to do a live round launch of an e-course. I did, so I just started marketing without social media. You can find that at leoniedawson.com/marketing. I wanted to complete a project 10% on Pinterest, but we didn't. We got busy with launch instead, so hoping that will happen this month. And mostly I just wanted to get back into the swing of creating and decide on what I want to do next. And in terms of whether I achieved that in February, debatable. You'll find out why. So in terms of what I got up to in life, my kids didn't go back to school until February 7th. So school was delayed by the government while we waited for the Omicron wave to pass. And so they ended up being home with us for 9 weeks over our Christmas holidays. It's usually here in Australia, that's our long holidays anyway. You guys have summer holidays, and it's usually around 6 to 7 weeks of holidays. For us, it ended up being 9, the longest school holiday ever, but we had a lot of fun together. We got kids settled back into school, and like I said, we've been worried about how it would go, but it's been a huge sigh of relief, and they've been in school for 3 weeks now, 4 weeks, and still haven't managed to catch COVID yet. Thank goodness. We're still waiting for the second vaccine, which is still a week away. Reformer Pilates was great. It was so good to get back, but damn, I lost some strength while I was away. But you know what? I'm just fucking thrilled that I get to do Pilates, tea, and cake again. It's brilliant. My love managed to get his booster shot, which was awesome. We had have a stressful neighborhood situation at the moment. I can't really say much more than that, but it's taken up a lot of my headspace up over the last month or so. We also had our 17-year-old dog had a series of medical issues last month, which meant a bunch of trips to the vets, that were kind of urgent trips. It was wildly stressful and anxiety inducing. We totally thought it was the end of days for her, but thankfully she's recovered. It's just not the same as she was before. We can definitely tell she's getting older, of course. I mean, she's 17. She can't just continue Benjamin buttoning. She still looks amazing. She doesn't look like a 17-year-old dog. But yeah, I mean, we're just lucky for every extra day we have with her. But fucking hell, we are going to miss her so much when she does go. I don't know if you guys, if you guys have been around for long enough, you might remember that about 3 years ago, she had to have emergency surgery to remove a really huge tumor from her spleen. And, it's an absolute miracle she survived that. Like, it was found accidentally. Usually, those kinds of surgeries don't go well in the kind of placement it was in. But she recovered really well and was released from hospital really quickly from that doggy hospital. And I remember thinking then, like, I just want more time with her. I don't feel like I'm ready yet. And now it's 3 years later, and I just don't feel ready still. I just don't. I don't. We've had doggies for so long. Like Charlie and Angel, we got them when I was 21, and I'm nearly 40. We have had those, like those two dogs, and they overlapped quite a bit for a really long time, like from the beginning of our relationship, really. And so thinking about not having puppies is just enormous. It's just enormous. Anyway, we have also been doing a couple of things with our investment property that's currently empty, and we spent a weekend morning like sanding and restanding the deck, and we got a quantity survey done as well. We're still in the midst of working out what we'll do with it, whether it'll be used by one of our aging parents or use it as a temporary home for us to reduce our school run time. I'm not sure yet. I did a school tour for a possible high school for my big kid. She goes in to high school next year, so we're still kind of working out what the plan is, whether she stays where she is currently for a little while longer or not. So we'll see. It's really just like, my kids actually really love school and they love where they're at, which is so, kind of unique in its own way. And we don't want to mess with that magic too much, if that makes sense. But yeah, big decisions all around. I've also been considering trying CBD oil to see how it would be beneficial for my pain levels with having hypermobility and general anxiety disorder. And I did a telehealth appointment with Alternaleaf to get it prescribed. It's only legal here in Australia when it's prescribed. So Alternaleaf is kind of a new system where you can like do a telehealth appointment with doctors and they can prescribe, and you can get all types of cannabis products prescribed. I currently not looking for anything with THC or any of like the psychoactive properties at all. More just like the basic bitch CBD. Anyway, I'll let you know how my experiment goes once my prescription arrives. We also got our car serviced and new tires fitted, which ended up being perfect timing because then we had torrential rain for days and major flooding in our region. Our house was fine, thankfully, but it's made transport pretty difficult. Our village centre was underwater. Our bridge to get into town was for a week. Yes, the school has been cancelled multiple days. Today it took us over 4 hours to do school runs because of the amount of detours we had to take. Fuck me. So I'm very, very grateful that it's starting to finally dry up and we can just only spend 2 hours doing a school run. What else? All of the above situations, some were great, some were very, very stressful, meant that I ended up having a major depressive episode in February. It was nowhere near as bad as my last episode, which was 4 years ago. I wrote a long blog post about it that kind of went viral. It's called Falling Off the Cliff of Depression. If you Google it, you'll find it, or the link is in the blog post. So it wasn't anywhere near as bad as that, but it still just knocked the absolute shit out of me. And at one point I was sobbing on the floor on the phone to my wild bushman dad about how fucked I felt. And in the most emotionally aware moment of his farmer life, he told me that I wasn't myself and that I needed to go back to my doctor to get a medication increase or get some counselling. So that's what I did, and it was the right thing to do. I'm feeling much better than what I was. I'm no longer weeping silently at coffee clubs. So that's a real win for me, guys. It wasn't a real cause for it, just a combination of all the life things. I'm going as gently as I can, realizing I just don't have much more emotional bandwidth to cope with more. And a dear friend shared with me that she recently had her own depressive episode, and it really made her realize that the pandemic's just kind of wiped out her capacity for coping with anything more than that. And I really feel that. And if you're in the same place, I just want you to know I feel you, I love you, I absolutely get it. And please get whatever help you need to, you know, find your footing again. Righto. Change of pace. Best books I read and favorite TV movies. I can definitely tell by looking at how many books I read last month that my brain was not functioning super well because I only finished 3 books. 3 fucking books. 3 books. Usually I read about 20 to 30 in a month, so yeah, we know that things were dire. So I continued studying Deep Work by Cal Newport. I've been studying that intensely for like a year now, and I just go super slow and highlight and take notes. I read George and the Great Brain Swappery out loud to my kids. It was really fun. We really enjoyed it. And we enjoyed The Art of Free Travel, which is a fascinating travel memoir of a family who cycled around Australia. My brain really only seemed online enough just to watch a bit of TV, and so watch TV I did. I watched Love is Blind season 2. I got obsessed with it. I binge watched 10 hours in 2 days. It's like, say the premise is like 15 people date by talking through a wall and never see each other. It was like totally interesting premise, and I really enjoy the parts where they don't get to see each other. They just talk and form like an emotional bond from that talking. But once they started like seeing each other in person, it kind of descended into reality TV, like bonkle doodery. Do I regret my life choices? Yes. Will I watch season 1? Yes. Will I watch Love is Blind Japan edition? Probably yes, but I probably do want to try and get something else done this year rather than just watching all the Love is Blind franchise. Now, in terms of what I got up to in business, we launched a live round of marketing without social media, and I did our usual open office coaching call for all my course students. I love these. In case you're not aware, if you buy any of my courses, forevermore you will have access to Pick My Brain every single month, and it's open to all my course students, and people usually say it's the best hour of their month. They laugh a lot, they learn a lot, and they get to connect with other gorgeous humans. Like a lot of people have found best friends and business partners and people to work with or collaborate with through my calls. So it's always really fun. Now, I wrote 5 blog posts in February. One was called, and this is just my favorite title, Dispatches from My Ancient Dog's Exploding Asshole. Honestly, I think that's like the magnum opus of my career. I also did a big roundup of 35 glorious things I found on the interwebs of late. I did a huge post to answer the question, 12 months without social media, what was it like, how much did I earn, and will I go back? Answer, no. I also did a Leonie Answers Your Business and Marketing Questions post, and 8 ways to increase your sales today. It's a poster that you can download and print. In terms of the current list of software I use to run my business, if you go to leoniedawson.com/Feb22, you'll be able to find the full list there. Now, how much money I made in February? I made $81,592. In terms of where that income came from, $68,000 came from e-courses. My passive income business brought in about $7,500. Goal Getter Planners brought in $4,780. As an affiliate for Kajabi, I got $462. And in terms of my shares in ethical managed funds, those dropped big time over the last couple of months. That's fine. However, they're long-term investments, not short-term ones. I'm not selling. They will go back up and they'll continue to grow. E-course income breakdown, if you want to know like what are the top sellers, marketing without social media definitely was the biggest seller. We sold nearly $57,000 worth of that course because we had a launch that month. The launch ended up running into the March calendar year, the calendar month as well. So the total launch figure was $78,000, but 57 of that was captured in February. 40 days to create and sell your e-course brought in $4,000. Work Less, Earn More brought in $1.5 grand. Sales Star brought in $3.2 grand. Money Manifesting and Multiple Streams of Income brought in $1.9K. And 40 days to a finished book brought in $600. And my mini workshop, Behind the Scenes of a Multimillionaire's Finances, brought in $300. So now I'm going to talk about expenses. Due to popular request, I'm going to start including expenses for the business as well to give you an even more transparent look at profitability as well. And that's going to change from month to month. So the reason I didn't do it originally is because then I would be sharing my staff's income, and I didn't know if that they were comfortable with that. So I ended up talking to them about it, and they were actually super comfortable with it. So that's why I'm starting to include expenses. All right, so my contractors earned, so I paid my contractors $5,100 for February. That is one part-time customer service virtual assistant and one part-time online business manager. The customer service person does about 3 to 5 hours a week. Online business manager does 20 hours a week. So that's probably on the higher side for pricing, but for me, I don't mind paying more for people who I trust and have a good long-term working relationship with. I want them to feel appreciated, and I want them to be able to live good lives. We also made a $1,000 donation to Red Cross Ukraine Appeal. We paid $9,000 in business tax. That's about a usual monthly amount. However, I do have larger tax bills that I need to pay every quarter. So I think like in March I have to pay like 30 something, but we'll talk about that later. My affiliates is I paid $1,200 to. That was to pay affiliates for January sales, because you always pay like for the previous month. In March, we pay for February sales, and February sales were much bigger because we did a launch, and so it'll be like 10 times that amount or so. PayPal and bank account fees were about $1,200. Software subscriptions for everything we use to run our business online was $1,450. Website hosting's about $100. Courses and books for me and my staff to learn from, we're continuously learning, was $557. And I have to do a minimum purchase order to qualify for my passive income business as well, and that was $150. So total expenses this month were $19,757. Oh my God, if I could say numbers, that would be amazing. So overall profit was $61,835. So that's approximately 87% profit EBIT, which is earnings before interest and tax, and 75% profit after tax, which is EAT. And both of those are pretty fucking amazing numbers. Most businesses run on around 5 to 30% profit margins max. So from that profit, my husband and I take salaries that we then pay personal tax on, and we pay compulsory superannuation, which is contributions to retirement funds. That's what we call it in Australia. The rest of the profit will stay in our holding company and then regularly gets invested in ethical managed funds. We personally invest with Australian Ethical, and they've just done an update and shared that they don't currently hold Russian investments either. So if you want more details on how we manage and grow income streams, the course Money Manifesting and Multiple Streams of Income is the course for you. In terms of other money stuff, in February I started trying out a new thing called Upstreet, and what it does is when you shop online, Upstreet enables you to receive partial shares in the businesses that you're buying from. I set it up so my Marley Spoon account is connected with Upstreet, so every week I get a couple more shares. It's pretty small amount so far, but like whatever, it's a bit of fun and it's free money. At the moment, usually I would invest like all of our surplus profits in personal savings and company savings into ethical managed funds. I mean, it'd be a good time to buy into them as prices are down, but for the moment I'm saving it as cash because we may need to purchase another property for family reasons soon. If we decide we don't need to, then we shuffle that excess into ethical managed funds again. Right, goals for next month. On the life front, I want to finish my goal, get a life workbook planning for the year. I want to celebrate the shit out of my 2 kids' birthdays, keep working on the investment house, and do my 21-day healthy habits challenge. So I just done a post about this. Basically, I'm doing a reset of my habits. And what that means is no watching videos online, no online reading except for blogs, read books, not screens, and have a bunch of goals to complete by the end of the 21 days. And every day I need to do 5 things. I need to do walking or yoga, have my vitamins and iron supplement, do morning pages, use an accountability buddy, and do my 5-minute page journal as well. So the goals that I want to achieve in the next 21 days is I need to do a sales page for a new course, totally number one priority, batch content, March and April content, or at least plan it out, finish my life workbook, finish my business workbook, create 2 free lead magnets, finish deep work, finish a course I'm doing, and test 5 videos, and work with my assistant to get her to complete a Project 10% on Pinterest as well. So this should be fun. I'm excited. It's a joy to be here. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. If you really enjoyed this, please do email in support@leoniedawson.com. I love knowing if this is helpful and if this is the kind of stuff that you want to hear more of. All right, Poopy Bears, I hope you have a beautiful day. Yeah.